Good morning, everybody. It's the 21st of February. I think it's about 9:30, 9:40 in the morning. And I'm going to do two videos today. This one is going to be solely about Gonzalo Lira, my friend Gonzalo Lira. And it's not like I can say really that I was really good friends with him. It's like we had just made friends online and WhatsApping and all that. It was like maybe 5 months before they got him. At least I think it was the first time. I'm not even sure anymore, back then. But they took him in, and well, let me go back. There's a feature that has been done about him, and a lot of this stuff has been uncovered. And there was a publication online, and it was called 21st Century Wire, and it might have been put out in other places as well. And Dave from the other side, on his site, from the other side chat, he put on a little video of Gonzalo Lira, of his last oh, the cold air. It's minus 17, by the way. But Dave put up a video with a part on there about Gonzalo Lira, and some of the last public messages he put out when he was trying to escape into Hungary and ask for asylum. And he said, if I don't get caught, and he said, if I do get caught, I'll be put in prison and I'll die in prison. And it's exactly what happened to him. And the first time, I guess, when they put him in prison, they also were beating him and torturing him. And they damaged his lungs, I believe, at that time. And it might have been, there's a name for it, I guess. And when your ribs are broken and they're puncturing your lungs, and that might have been what even happened to him on the first time. And I guess on that first time, what they did to him, they tortured him, and I think they were making videos where he had to say things like that he liked Zelensky and all kinds of stuff like that. And I guess in the Kharkov prison, they have torture prisons in Ukraine, and that was one of them at the time where they had him there. And even his testimonies at that time, and he was able to get letters out, I guess, even the second time when they had got him. But I didn't have any contact with him after they got him the first time. They took his phone and his laptop, and we lost contact because he lost his contacts, and so we didn't really contact each other since that time. And I think I did not know what the deal was with him at that time. And when they got him, I was starting to get different emails from him, and it was like asking for money and investing in like some crypto thing or whatever. And I didn't know that it wasn't him. I was thinking that was him, and I was like a little bit incensed and say, well, what, first we were friends, and then you start asking for money and investing and all that. So that's unfortunate how that was. And the next time maybe I'll know better. And Scott Ritter even was saying that he suspected that Gonzalo Lira was an asset of the SBU, and to a certain extent that turned out to be true, but he was coerced to be that way. They forced him to be an asset, and he wasn't really an asset anyway. He was not supposed to be putting out anything negative, and they made him pledge allegiance to Zelensky and all that the first time. And I think he mentioned all of this to the United States State Department, and of course they still did nothing. And they weren't helping him at all. And even at that time, he was saying that his problem, he's told me that it's like his wife, I don't know if I remember correctly, I didn't want to press him on this, it was personal stuff. He was maybe having a custody issue with his children and all that, and that's one reason why he stayed in Ukraine. A lot of people say, oh, wow, what a stupid idiot, he's still saying this stuff about Ukraine, he's staying in Ukraine. But I think his like a lot of us, I don't know, I am not in his shoes, and I don't know what I would be doing, but maybe he had a lot more respect for the truth and putting things out that are true than he even had for his putting himself into danger, which is what happened, obviously, and he lost his life and they killed him. And there are people, I think it was even Elon Musk, he put out a tweet and he said Zelensky killed Gonzalo Lira. And it's very possible, I don't know if Zelensky was personally involved. Zelensky personally definitely knew about the plight of Gonzalo Lira, and it becomes obvious that so did the United States State Department. Definitely Antony Blinken knew, definitely. There is no doubt about that, because after the first time, and after he was captured the second time, his father went, I think he went even on Tucker Carlson. He went really public, and he was saying about the plight of his son, Gonzalo Lira Sr., and talking about that his health was very bad. Gonzalo even said before they took him, I don't know if it was with me that he said it or if he said it publicly, but his health was quite bad anyway, and he would not survive. And he was believing that he was going to be put, to work on hard labor, and he wouldn't survive that. But his plight actually turned out to be much worse. And it turns out that what they did is like they threw him on a wet floor, and very, very cold, I guess, in very cold temperatures. And of course, they were doing really cruel things to him. A lot of people don't like to hear this bad stuff, but they were like acting like they were sticking toothpicks in his eyes, like they're acting like they were trying to pry his eyeballs out with toothpicks. And I believe that was like the second time when they had him. I don't know if he lost his vision or, on that second time or not. I really don't know. But he was subject to cruel torture. Antony Blinken knew all about this and did absolutely nothing. And what's kind of ironic is there was a video put out by Scott Ritter, of course. Even when he said this about Gonzalo Lira, he still wished Gonzalo Lira the best. He was not, but maybe, even Scott Ritter did not really know the extent of what was happening to Gonzalo Lira, that he was, Scott Ritter knows a lot about a lot of things, but, and I did not even know. I maybe knew some things, maybe know things that Scott Ritter doesn't know, apparently, but I didn't know of what extent, and especially when Gonzalo Lira's plight became public and virtually the whole world knew about it, you would think, which normally happens, is a lot of this stuff will stop, because these the people that are doing these acts, they don't like this exposure, and they seek to try to change it or make it look like it's not true. But they did nothing about it in Ukraine. Antony Blinken did nothing about it. So they continued on with this. And so you could say, well, let me finish what I was saying about Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter had put out a video not that long ago, and of course he was really incensed about Antony Blinken. So I'm sure anything that Scott Ritter would say now is, of course, he would say that in light of what he was saying about Antony Blinken, that it turns out to be that Antony Blinken was the one running the United States, and he was, of course, by proxy, because apparently he was running Joe Biden. Joe Biden, and everybody knows, and it was even put out just yesterday by high people in the United States government, that these people knew that Joe Biden was not capable of this. And if you want to know the real truth, a lot of things came out, even when Joe Biden first took office, that he was not capable of leading. So Joe Biden, what do you say, like a Manchurian candidate or whatever? And you would think a lot of this stuff doesn't really happen, except in the movies. But Joe Biden wasn't running anything. We all saw that he spent most of his time on vacation, sitting on the beach, eating ice cream cones while Rome was burning. So, just to put that lightly. And that's the most thing I wanted to say. But a lot of this information now just came out recently about Gonzalo Lira, this exposure. Is it because another member of the Rada, the government of Ukraine, put this out? And I guess this person is in exile right now, but was a member of the government. And what's his name? Let's see, I wrote it down here just so you guys might want to know. Oh, I can't even read my own writing. I should have underlined it. I know that I wrote it down. I don't know, really strange. Oh, his name, let me see what, former parliamentarian, let's see, testimony, oh gosh, Duke, what the heck are you doing here? Well, I'll probably see this. I write very small on these cards and things, but, oh, his name is Dubinsky. Had his first name here. It was I think it was Artyom. But anyway, it was three people, three obviously former members of the Ukrainian government have come out and said, and most all this information, it all corroborates, with each other. So, and it's not like these people knew each other, so they knew it was going on all this time. And yeah, so they put out similar information. Let me see. I think I only wrote this guy's name. Zabinski. Normally I write a name and I underline it. But I saw also some information that was put in the same article that that over 300 people had died. I don't know if it was that prison alone, that torture prison, or if it was in total in custody, being tortured to death. Tortured to death by this Ukrainian regime. And most of these people, they say something that the government doesn't like, so that they get these people and they virtually kill them, and they make their existence miserable. Gonzalo Lira himself, I guess part of his testimony was when, I don't know if it was after the second time or the first time, he said when he was on that cold floor and they were torturing him, he was hearing other people that he had known in prison already being there, because they'd already had him. It's not like they just took him in and threw him on the floor. So he knew some of these other people, maybe in his cell block or whatever the deal is. And he said here he was listening to their screams and the screams of other people while they were being tortured. Really terrible stuff. Now I've been hostage 2 times. I was never tortured, but I was kept hostage. And it's sort of like, when you hear this stuff, it's like I don't know, the best you can hope for is like a Stockholm syndrome, if you know what that is. And I'm trying to think of I wasn't, it wasn't very long. I was just mostly taped up and mouth taped and all that sort of stuff, but it's just some easy stuff, So once I was in a Middle Eastern country, I wasn't taped up or nothing, but I was taken in, detained, couldn't leave the country, and they opened up everything I had, and things like that. It's not really that dramatic, so it's, I don't know. I could tell it sometime, but I don't know if you guys would be interested in all that anyway. Yes, so anyway, a lot of people are saying that actually they'd asked Tony Blinken, about what the United States would do. And apparently, I don't know, some people say this, I don't know if this is true, you never know about exaggerations, but a lot of people are saying that Antony Blinken gave the go-ahead to kill Gonzalo Lira. And they killed him in such a way where he was just so in such a bad state that he died, his lungs punctured, and I think they had a fake doctor look at him and saying everything is fine with him and all that sort of deal, and then he just obviously eventually passed away. So later I'll do another video. I just wanted to put this one out because it's a special case, and I think Emil Kosman already made a video about it. I was going to do it yesterday, and and I was doing other things. We're doing some renovations still in the place, so I didn't get around to it, and I wish I would have. I didn't see the video by Emil Kosman, but he addressed it right away, which is very good. And everybody has to bring attention to this, and like we all know, Tucker Carlson knew about it. Knew about the plight of Gonzalo Lira and brought light to that, even had his father on, and Elon Musk had mentioned this, and I don't know. I wish, I was, there was even a talk, that we were talking about meeting. I was gonna meet Gonzalo Lira, but obviously it never got anywhere close to that far. So I feel sorry for the guy, and yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out, and all of you out there, the plight of a lot of these journalists. There's a lot of journalists, unfortunately, that this regime in Kiev, they're finding them, and they don't like this information, so they're finding journalists and killing them. I'm hoping I'm not going to ever be one of them. I don't have a big channel, so I guess I don't know. I don't want them to know where I live. That's why I don't do any videos, really that close to where I live, because I don't want them to, maybe I'll do it inside the place. It's not like they can tell. So, anyway, I guess that's all I'll say. And appreciate you guys joining me, and I'll put up another video later talking more about a lot of news. So a lot of things happened after I made my last video. So, and I have to say, whoever posted, that must have posted a video of mine somewhere. I think, what was it I think I was doing the anti-Russia crybaby club. I think it was that video, and somebody posted. I think it's over 500 views, really viral for me. So I appreciate whoever did that. Thank you very much. And maybe you can post this one too, because I think Gonzalo Lira really needs to get a lot of recognition he was a super nice guy, a really super nice guy, and I miss him. I miss that I didn't get to know him a lot better. So anyway, if anybody posts this, thank you very much for Gonzalo Lira and for his legacy. And okay, I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.